Hello, my name is Brian D. Meeks, and welcome to Snarktown. Tonight's reading, we're continuing with Underwood, Scotch, and Rye, a satire I wrote about a bit of an anti-hero, Arthur Byrne. This is Chapter 8. Scotch, neat, Arthur said as he walked in the door. Donna, the bartender, said, You want me to bring it over to your group? I wasn't aware I had a group. There's a pack of TAs in the corner that made me promise to send you their way as soon as you arrived. How did they know I would be arriving? Because you're a creature of habit. I really am, and one of my favorites is drinking alone. A voice carried across the bar, and likely all the way to the state border. Dr. Byrne, we're over here. Is there a small, enthusiastic Asian woman hailing me? There is, said Donna, setting the drink on the bar. If you see this run dry. She nodded. Got it. Arthur made his way to the two tables that had been pushed together. There were pitchers of beer, a couple of laptops, an iPad, and two baskets of popcorn. Wen could barely contain herself. Dr. Byrne, you were awesome today, Kurt said. You really were. Arthur took a seat and looked at Kurt, mostly because he hoped the blinding smile on Wen would fade, and asked, on a scale of 1 to Gaga, how would you rate it? A solid 8, but I'm a tough grader. Good. That's what I want. Take a gold star out of petty cash, Kurt. Wen said, You must have stayed up all night writing that speech. No, I did exactly as I told you I would. I faked it. The smooth baritone voice of Lawrence said, You had me convinced you knew what you were really talking about. Thanks, but that was the entire bag of tricks. We've still got a few classes left. Any ideas? Susan raised her hand. You're a TA now, Susan. You don't need to raise your hand. Sorry, maybe the lecture should be about some of the finer points of Twitter? A was texting away and said, The students seem pretty fired up to start their accounts. Seems like a good plan. Susan blushed a little. Arthur finished his scotch and raised the glass to the heavens. A voice from afar said, I'm on it. Arthur asked, So, what are the finer points of Twitter? Wen said, Let's brainstorm. She began banging on her laptop. How about we start with some brain light raining? Arthur suggested. Wen wrinkled her nose and said, We should talk about hashtags. What's a hashtag? Kurt said, It's a way to group tweets. Arthur's blank expression spoke volumes. Kurt continued, If you're watching Glee alone at home and do a search with an octothorpe, that's what we'll call a hashtag. You'll find all the tweets relating to the show. Interesting. So if I wanted to find people who like Harper Lee, I would put her name after a pound sign? Arthur asked. Wen said, Let me try. A moment later, she spun around her computer. See? There are mostly quotes from To Kill a Mockingbird, but I'm sure those people all like her writing. Lawrence said, We should probably discuss junk followers, too. Arthur asked, What's a junk follower? Someone that just wants you to follow them back. What's wrong with following people back? Nothing but Spammers don't really care who you are tweeting about. They just want you to click on their links and promote their crap. Those bastards. You joke, but if one is serious about building a following, they can clutter things up. Did you get that, Win? Oh, yes. Good. Now, why would somebody tweet in the first place? A said, you wrote a book, right? An earlier version of me did, yes. How did you get sales? They trickled in, but I have no idea from where. But you got royalties, right? Yes. Okay. Imagine the people who like your book follow you on Twitter. I can do that. Now, let's say you have 10,000 fans who follow and you're about to release a new book. Unlikely, but I'm with you. You could tell them all the launch date. You could interact with readers, thus making them more loyal, or you could find new readers by tweeting interesting stuff about your life. So, a well-built Twitter following without junk followers is a marketing tool. Lawrence broke in. Yes, but you need to avoid being marketing all the time. People hate that. When asked, how do you feel about the please retweet? Everyone but Arthur seemed to dislike the concept. He remained nonplussed. When asked, do you know what I mean, Dr. Byrne? I have no idea. Lawrence said, it's when people beg you to retweet their tweet. Why would anyone retweet something that has already been said once? Wen said, you have to understand that the only people who see your tweets are the ones who follow you. I can see that. So let's say you tweet something about a new book. One of your 10,000 followers takes a tweet and retweets it to their 100 followers because they adore your writing, and it extends your reach. A said, retweets show people you're not just a one-way street. Okay, A, you've lost me. A continued, people are more likely to help you with your goals if you help them with theirs. Is everyone selling something? Or said, no, a lot of people just like hanging out, but maybe they have a friend who just put up a new blog post and they want to help him promote it. If you help, they will appreciate it. One said, which brings up a good point. I'm not sure how many more good points I can digest. You want to be careful about blindly tweeting something without a link, especially blog posts, because it might be something you don't want to endorse. A retweet equals an endorsement? A said, do you want to retweet an article about a Nazi who kicks babies and eats unicorns? I'm definitely con-Nazi, pro-unicorns, and indifferent towards baby kicking. Are they kicking for distance or accuracy? Distance. Is that measured in yards or with that crazy metric system? Donna brought over the fresh scotch and said, sorry, it got busy. I'm shorthanded. Well, in the interest of making your life easier, why don't I order another now, and you get it to me whenever it suits you? You're a doll. You mind tweeting that, gorgeous? Donna walked away with a little extra swing in her hips. Arthur watched, and it was apparent that the impromptu meeting had been adjourned. He had lost interest in social media. Well, that's chapter 8. I appreciate you coming by to give it a listen. Tomorrow we'll be doing chapter 9. And don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, especially leave a comment. They make me so happy. Of course, me begging for comments at the end of every one of these may become tiresome at some point, and I get that, but this is all new to me. Now, I would say that because I do these ahead of time, today was actually launch day of Chapter 1. As of me doing this chapter, we had 74 people who watched the video, 17 subscribers, and I think 13 comments with maybe 16 likes, something along that lines, which I think is pretty good for a first video. So, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you again in the comments tomorrow.